Yeah, and even that is bullish, right? That's like,
yeah.
oh, great. And the whole network got more decentralized. We no longer have 60% of the miners in China, and China can't take control of the network, which was always one of those outlier concerns, right? Like, but imagine if the Chinese government, by decree, claims all the miners and takes out Bitcoin through a 51% attack, that kind of thing. And now that's gone. And even now, all those miners, those ASIC miners, the hardware's being relocated to like all the sources of cheap and clean energy in different parts of the world. So all of the underlying things behind the network, we've got, obviously, you're at the forefront of the El Salvador story of it becoming legal tender. And I think, like, it's like Bitcoin's now fighting the final boss in the video game. It's really up against the central bankers, and much earlier than we ever thought. Which is, like, what was it? The thing that was quite hilarious is that because El Salvador's decreed this as legal tender, the World Bank, by their own charter, have to accept Bitcoin as payment of debt.
Yeah.
which is like, so it's at the very highest level. We've got institutions that need to face Bitcoin now, which was, I kind of thought this would be another 4 years away.
I know, man.
And so, like, I don't know. I think that there's going to be attacks on it, like very, very hard out attacks. Like, I even saw that with Tesla back when they, remember when Tesla was the darling of the shorters in Wall Street, and everyone was trying to take out Tesla, and there was just FUD after hit piece on Elon Musk and Tesla during that time. I feel like that's kind of what's happening right now with Bitcoin. That's on a sentiment base, like, on chain. It's like, I can just see buyers, sellers, and sizes, and it's, to me, it's as simple as we had a lot of buying from about from the January of this year, really, and those guys were very, very large buyers, very high net worth, and some maybe institutional hedge funds, short time frame kind of guys, or even family offices. And the thing is, like, a lot of those guys took their money off the table from that $50,000 to $60,000 range. And so all those coins just ended up on the market. So they were dumped out, ended up, like, having the inventory on the exchanges, the speculative inventory, just go up. So I imagine just for every coin that's sold, obviously, there's a buyer. So I guess speculators bought those coins. And now we're in a very speculative phase. And those coins are slowly being reabsorbed by long-term holders, slowly, and it's very much structured like on-chain. It looks like the COVID crash and then recovery, which took 8 weeks. We had like a massive dump out of what looked like long-term holders, those people that bought, up to 6 months ago, and they sold for the very first time, unloaded their coins, and the buyers are smaller guys. It's retail, and we're not seeing, unlike, like, the coins are moving to stronger hands, long-term investors, but we're not seeing the same amount of pure rate of coins moving off the exchanges into cold storage like we saw in COVID. So that's so, and price right now is going sideways bearish. It's like chopping along sideways bearish. It looks like what we call a Wickofian accumulation like price pattern. And so if that plays out, then we should have that last wick down to the 28, 29 should have been the final test of the bottom. If that continues, everything on chain looks like it's in recovery, right? In fact, we're getting like a bullish divergence. On chain's going bullish. Coins are being sucked up into strong hands while the price is driving downwards. And the last time we saw that was in late January when we had the first dip of 2021. And on chain was diverging upwards as the price was going down, and then we rocketed upwards. So that may play out. I think that we still need to see what happens in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Like, I do think we're in the next couple of weeks at least, we're in an upward trajectory. But like, it's recovering. We just don't know what's going to happen in the next, obviously in the future. If we get another round of people dumping coins, then that'll destroy this accumulation. It could push us down lower. But in terms of fundamental metrics like valuations, like MVT or stock to flow, we're already heavily discounted. So it's like a cycle that unlike any that we've seen. And I mean that, like, people are templating this thing to 2013 where we had a double pump, but underlying structure is completely different.